In the beginning of the drama, we see the male lead of the drama, whose name is Yi-han, and his crew members are trying to wake him up. Meanwhile, our female lead, Shen, who is very late for her work, is running toward the bus stop. Everywhere around, posters of Yi-han are put up. From this, we learn that he is an actor, and Shen also likes him a lot. In the next scene, we see the entry of Yi-han's manager, whose name is Candid. She goes into Yi-han's room and wakes him up, and seeing her, Yi-han also becomes calm. He doesn't say anything at all. After that, Shen's finger accidentally lands right on her boss's nipple, and before her boss can say anything about it, Shen has already put that finger on the machine. Then, her friend Ching Ching also comes there. Because of Shen, a VIP customer has taken a membership at their shop. She is a famous actress, Ron Ji Shu. Because of her, they get such a big customer, so her boss is also very happy about it there. Then, Shen also tells her boss that if she could get an advance on her salary, it would be very helpful for her. She starts asking him about it, and Shen tells him that her family is going through a lot of problems right now. So her boss agrees and leaves from there. Meanwhile, we see Yi-han, who has to go to a conference. Candy is telling him to hurry up, but Yi-han is unable to do any of this, and he says that they signed a contract and they must take him in this movie, not anyone else. Otherwise, they will have to pay compensation. Just then, Candy gets a call, and as soon as she takes the call, her mood turns off. She tells Yi-han that someone else has been taken for the movie instead of him. Hearing this, Yi-han becomes extremely angry there. Candy tells him that they will still give him compensation because the director didn't like him very much. Hearing this, Yi-han, in anger, gets into a car and leaves for the conference. Candy is about to follow him in another car, but just then her husband comes and stops her, saying that she also has to go to his mother's birthday party. Candy tells him she will come, but her husband doesn't listen to anything she says there. In the struggle, Candy falls down. Then Candy, standing there, tells the other two people to go after Yi-han. Meanwhile, we see Shen, who is doing a very good job of nail painting. Just then, her friend Ching Ching there says, "You paint so well, I still haven't learned it." Then another staff member there says that her background is artistic, so of course, she'd be good at art. But Shen says, there, that doing nail art is also her job. The staff there talk among themselves that Shen must be saving a lot of money. What will she even do with so much money? Then her boss comes to her and says that Jishu has called, and Shen will have to go to her as well. Shen takes her scooter and leaves from there. Meanwhile, Yi-han is on a call with the airport on speaker, talking while driving the car at high speed. By then, Shen also arrives there on her scooter, and the two end up in an accident. Shen comes near the car, but Yi-han doesn't get out of the car, and instead pretends to be unconscious. So Shen tries to lift him up, but he doesn't get up at all. Meanwhile, Shen, seeing this, starts to leave from there. But then she starts getting worried about Yi-han. What if he suffocates inside the car? So she starts trying to break the car's glass. Seeing this, Yi-han quickly opens the door, but by then, she has already hit the window. Then, she looks at his face and asks if she should take him to the doctor, but Yi-han refuses. Then Shen tells him that she has calculated everything, and she quickly explains the calculation to him, saying that he needs to pay her 88,000 yuan. Yi-han starts staring at her, and then blood starts coming from his head. Seeing this, he faints, and the scene cuts right there. In the next scene, we see Shen at the hospital. There, Candy also arrives, meets Shen, and Candy gives her extra money. But Shen doesn't want the extra money at all and gives it back to Candy. Then Candy gives Shen her card, telling her that whenever she needs help, she can call her. Then we see Jishu, who is surrounded by all her fans at the airport. Jishu's passport falls down there, and Jishu gets into her car. Then, a boy comes there, whom Jishu thinks must be her fan, but that boy doesn't even know who she is. He gives her the passport and leaves from there. Then, Jishu tells her manager to find out everything about that boy, because he was extremely handsome, and Jishu liked him a lot too. Meanwhile, Yi-han is in his car and asks about Kandi. His staff member tells him that she is at a bar and is very upset. Then he sees Shen, who is loving a cat very much there, and watching an interview. Yi-han also notices her there. Then Yi-han goes to the bar, where a man is there, and Yi-han beats him up badly. Then he puts Kandi in the car and is heading to drop her home. Shen needs to buy her mother's house with the money, but because 10% of her commission had just been cut, she now had even less money, and she became very sad. She also remembers Candy, thinking that maybe she can help her, so she decides to meet her the next morning. Meanwhile, Candy is in a car in a drunk state, feeling very sad, and she keeps saying that she doesn't want a divorce. Yihan calms her down there and hugs her, and from a distance, someone clicks all of this in a photo. Then, the next day, people start talking about Kandi and Yihan. Kandi tells all the media people that Yihan wasn't with her. He was at the hospital, but nobody trusts her. Her husband comes and asks her about all the photos, and in front of the media, he speaks badly about Kandi. Then Yihan comes there to bring her away. But Kandi still tells him that all of this is a misunderstanding, that Yihan was at the hospital yesterday. Then, all the media start asking for evidence. Just then, Shen arrives there and says, "I am a witness." She tells them that she was with Yihan yesterday, and she shows them the pictures she had clicked with Yihan. Then everyone there starts asking whether she is in a relationship with Yihan or not. At this point, Yihan comes and calls Shen his girlfriend and announces that he is going to marry her soon. Hearing this, everyone there is shocked. Then, in a flashback, we see that when Shen was about to go to the hospital with Yihan, she had taken all those photos, which is why she has all these photos now. Then Yihan takes Shen and starts leaving from there. Shen asks him what all this is. How can she marry him? Candy tells her that only relatives will be at this wedding and there won't be any extra fuss. But Shen isn't ready for it. She refuses to marry him and gets out of the car and starts leaving from there. Suddenly, Yihan comes in front of her and asks why she left. He asks why she took a photo with him. Shen tells him it was for evidence that she had met him. Then Yihan tells her to delete all the pictures from her phone and that he will also do her work for her. Shen becomes very happy hearing this and deletes the photo. As she is leaving, a reporter starts following them. In a flashback, we see Yihan asking Kandi what kind of boy she wants to marry. Kandi tells him he should be very successful. Then, Yihan tells her that he will get an award today. So, what gift does she want? Kandi tells him to get her a dress. Kandi then asks him what he will do. Yihan tells her that he will propose to the girl he likes. Then we see Yihan bringing a very beautiful wedding dress to propose to Kandi and preparing very nicely to make the day special. But when Kandi comes inside, she has a boy with her. And seeing this, Yihan is deeply shocked. And that same boy is now, in the present, Kandi's husband. Back in the present, Yihan says that this will just be a wedding for show, so there's no need to do so much. But Kandi tells him that being too informal will make people suspicious. Just then, Kandi gets a call from a CEO named Zhao, who tells her that Yihan will benefit a lot, even after the marriage. She goes to meet the man on the phone. Yihan tells her that this man is not a good person, but Kandi still convinces him and leaves from there. Shen gets a call and goes to a lady's house. The lady's mother lives there too, and she wants to buy this house. Her dad had sold it years ago, and when Shen comes back, she wants to live in that same house. But the lady says she has found another customer who will pay more. Shen requests her a lot, and the lady gives her a time of 12 o'clock the next day. Shen comes out feeling sad because she needs even more money now. Where will she get it from? At Shen's shop, Gaolong comes to interview her and starts asking her a lot of back-to-back questions about Yihan. Everyone at the shop is shocked that Shen is Yihan's girlfriend. During the interview, Shen gets very irritated by the questions. Just then, Yihan arrives and puts Shen in the car and drives away. But the reporter says that he will see how long this acting continues. Then, Yihan stops at one place and tells Shen that whatever she says, he will do it. Everything he said at the shop was true, but she should marry him. Hearing this, she is shocked right there. Shen gets a message from an old lady, and she shows Yihan the address. Yihan drops her off there and says, "Now you'll marry me, right?" But Shen refuses. Then she tells Yihan that he already got a free ride from her. So Shen gives him some money there and goes inside. After a while, she comes back out, and Yihan asks to borrow some money from him. After that, she becomes ready to marry him, and she'll slowly pay him back the money later. Then Yihan sets some conditions, that she'll have to go on 2 dates a month, for which he'll pay, and that she won't get to know any other boy deeply. Then both of them say together that neither of them will feel love for the other. Then, Yihan also goes to that auntie's house, stays there a while, and after some time, buys the house for her at double the price. Shen gets angry with him about it there, and Yihan explains to her that he only needs to give her 100,000 yuan. There's no need to give any more than that. Then the scene shifts to Yihan, where Kandi says that now the two of them will have their engagement. Meanwhile, Jishu sees this news on social media and is shocked. She tells her manager, "This is my nail artist. Since when has she become Yihan's girlfriend?" Then she asks her manager about that boy she had asked him to find, because he is her first love. Her manager tells her that he is trying to find him, but hasn't succeeded yet. She tells him to find him quickly. Then we see that same boy, who is looking at the same news on a girl's phone. That girl tells him that he must be shocked too after learning this. He says, "Who is Yihan? He's just looking at his own girlfriend." Hearing this, the girl is surprised. Then we see another character, who is looking at Shen's photo and says, "Finally, I found you." Then Shen gets a call that she needs to go to the shop, and there she also tries on a wedding dress that Candy mentions Yihan had gotten made for her 2 years ago, but Shen says, "Maybe it wasn't meant for me." Then the owner calls Yihan there too. Seeing Shen in that dress, Yihan becomes very angry and tells her to take off the dress. Shen is also shocked there. Then SHN, seeing the state of her room, gets very angry and starts cleaning the room herself. Then, from behind, Yihan turns on the light and Shen slips and falls. Meanwhile, Candy is there talking about the drama shooting and gives him the script, but Yihan doesn't want to do anything with it. Candy tells him he has to work. He needs the money. But Yihan says he already has money. Candy tells him that he gave all his money away to buy Shen's house. Where will he get more from? Then Yihan angrily picks up the script, but Candy's divorce papers fall into his hands. He asks why she never told him, and says he has loved and waited for her for 10 years. Candy coldly says she never loved him and only used him to earn money. Furious, Yihan leaves. Still hurt by her words, Yihan throws the wedding dress into the water. The next morning, he returns home and is shocked to find the messy house completely clean. He assumes Shen did it, but finds her sleeping on the sofa. He wakes her by shouting and accuses her of touching his things. Seeing she is still sleepy, he says he will deal with her later and goes to sleep. He checks the camera footage and discovers she stole nothing and spent hours cleaning. He eventually falls asleep too. A noise wakes him. Shen asks him to turn it off, but she is extremely hungry. Yihan tells her to order food and says he will pay, making her happy. At the ceremony, everyone waits for Shen and Yihan, but Hao announces that Yihan said he would not come. Everyone is shocked. Candy tells Shen to go alone, but Shen logs into Yihan's social media and posts that neither of them will attend. The guests leave. After changing, Shen returns and meets the director, her childhood friend Lin, who gives her chocolate. She happily folds the wrapper, as she used to do in childhood. In the flashback, Shen and Lin are shown together. Lin says he searched for her after hearing about her and Yihan. He remembers that she loved drawing and asks what she studied. Shen explains that after her father remarried, her stepmother caused the family to sell their house and move. Angry, Shen left home. Unable to pay college fees, she became a nail artist. Now she lives well and even has a rich boyfriend. When Shen returns home, Yihan teases her. She gets angry because she could not even take a photo because of him. The doorbell rings and a man enters and hugs her. He introduces himself as Luming, her brother. Yihan questions Shen, but she says she has always been an only child. Luming shows a photo of his mother and Shen lets him stay. She remembers reading poems with her mother. Luming asks to stay because he has run out of money. Shen agrees, but Yihan refuses. Shen kicks him, so Yihan takes her aside and asks how long Luming will stay. She says only a few days and sends Luming to his room. Later, Yihan and Shen hear Luming speaking English on the phone. Shen asks Yihan to translate. He explains that Luming is saying Shen looks exactly like their mother and is beautiful and kind. Shen sees Luming's photos with his mother and becomes emotional. Luming says his mother was wonderful, while Shen remembers that her mother abandoned her. Luming then asks Shen to help him find a job, and she agrees. At dinner, Yihan refuses to eat because he is dieting, while Shen and Luming talk constantly. He plays music and tells them not to talk during meals. Luming simply starts typing on his phone instead. Because of Luming, Shen and Yihan end up sharing a room. Yihan tries to leave, but finds Luming still outside. They argue before finally agreeing to sleep in the same bed. Yihan reads the script, and Shen tells him his character is meaningful because he has loved a girl for 10 years. As they fall asleep, Shen suddenly cries and hugs Yihan. While remembering how her mother abandoned her, Yihan comforts her. In the morning, Shen wakes and finds Yihan beside her. Both scream. She asks where her clothes are, and Yihan says she threw them herself and came to him crying the previous night. Embarrassed, Shen leaves. Looming is outside and says he heard the screaming. Yihan claims Shen was bullying him. At the movie meeting, Lin praises Yihan as a great actor and expects him to get the lead role, though Yihan is his senior. Candid is also waiting. Yihan eventually arrives. Afterward, Lin asks how he feels about not getting the lead. Yihan repeats Shen's words about how people's lives are not always what they seem, and explains how deeply he relates to his character. Lin is impressed and asks if Yihan thought of it himself. Yihan says yes. Lin realizes they have much in common and leaves. Yihan refuses to shake Candid's hand. Candid apologizes and gives him a gift he had wanted for years, explaining that she said those hurtful things in anger. Yihan accepts it. Candid takes him to her shop, where everyone welcomes him. His boss promotes him and increases his salary by 50%. Shen becomes extremely happy because their financial problems may finally be solved. At home, Shen and Looming are eating when Yihan joins them. Looming is surprised because this is unusual. Yihan says his mood is simply good today. Looming jokes that the couple must be deeply in love. The doorbell rings and Candid arrives. Shen goes into the kitchen. Looming reassures her that she is beautiful and says Candid will take her boyfriend away. Candid reveals that a magazine wants Yihan and Shen on its cover and also invites Looming because she has arranged a job for him. Looming agrees. On the shooting day, Yihan finishes his solo shoot before Shen arrives looking beautiful. Their couple photos have no chemistry, while Shen and Looming take a great photo together. Yihan tries to get between them. During another shot, the photographer asks Yihan and Shen to kiss. Yihan kisses her, but keeps one finger between them. The next day, the magazine sells rapidly. Shen secretly brings a copy home, and Ching becomes jealous when she sees Shen being praised. Shen laughs at her. Lin then calls and offers Looming an assistant job, explaining that Candid recommended him. He asks Shen to bring him over, and she agrees. Meanwhile, Jishu's manager tells her she has a kissing scene with Yihan and asks if it will be awkward. Jishu says it is only work. A flashback reveals she once confessed to Yihan, but he rejected her. Now she barely remembers it. Jishu spots Looming riding a bicycle outside, runs after him, and even removes her shoes. Looming buys a magazine, but Shen calls him, so he leaves before Jishu can meet him. Later, Jishu arrives with a broken toenail and cannot walk. Shen apologizes for what happened before. Jishu demands that she fix her nail. Her manager warns her not to cause trouble because Shen is Yihan's girlfriend. But Jishu begins bullying Shen anyway. Yihan, meanwhile, asks his staff to find Shen. A reporter arrives to interview Shen and Yihan, but Jishu refuses to cooperate until her nail is fixed. Shen agrees to repair it. Yihan arrives and warns Jishu, saying, "Don't bully my wife." Her manager takes Jishu away and scolds her. Jishu ignores the warning when she notices Looming and starts approaching him. Shen arrives again and apologizes while offering to fix her nail. Looming tells Shen that Jishu became innocent after learning that Shen was his sister. He then remembers that he had previously found Jishu's passport. Finally, Shen cooks many dishes at home. Yihan arrives and asks why she is cooking so much. She explains that Looming got a job and has moved out. Yihan asks how she knows Lin. Shen jokingly says she knows him because she is Yihan's girlfriend. Yihan accuses her of taking advantage of his benefits, but Shen tells him to freshen up and come eat dinner. Yihan changes and checks on his phone what Shen is doing. After she sets the dishes down, he gets very hungry, so he goes over and says, "You haven't poisoned this, have you? That's why you're feeding me this." Then she tells him to eat, and he starts eating and becomes very happy because it tastes really good, and says, "Yihan, this is actually really good." Then the scene shifts to Jishu, who has sent her manager to Looming to invite him to dinner. Her manager comes and tells her that Looming refused and doesn't want to come at all, but Jishu is near the set table where Looming is standing, and she decides to go there herself. Then we see Yihan, who is very drunk, and someone comes to take photos of him, but Shen somehow moves him away from there. Then Yihan says, "What are you doing there? Go do your own thing." Then Shen gets a call from Lin, who wants to meet her. Lin gives her a photo collection, which Shen loves collecting. Then Yihan looks for Shen and says, "Where's my wife? She gets lost so easily, but I'll find her," and starts going outside. Just then, Lin, seeing that he's drunk, tries to take him away, but Yihan pulls him and takes him back inside instead. Then we see Yihan and Lin, who are now quite drunk and playing games. Lin and Yihan are winning the game very well, and two staff members there are talking about how there's no chemistry between Shen and Yihan. Then, Yihan comes and takes Shen home and tells him to sleep on the bed. He's looking up at the ceiling through the window, and then he starts seeing stars. Yihan is about to kiss Shen there, but she gets up and leaves. Yihan, mistaking her for Candid, stops her there and says, "I love you so much. Where are you? Who are you with? I have to keep trying." Then she tells him there's no chance left to try anymore. He talks about himself, that he hasn't seen anything good in life. His mom left him when he was 6 years old. He doesn't celebrate his birthday anymore. Ever since his stepmom came, his dad never sided with him, and his grandmother, whom he loved very much, was also taken away from him. Hearing all of this, he falls asleep there. The next day, when Yihan wakes up, he doesn't remember anything. He asks Shen what he did last night. Then Shen tells him she needs some help. He says, "Tell me," but Yihan closes the door to his room. Shen, from outside, says she can help bring candy to him. Hearing this, Yihan opens the door and asks how. Then the scene cuts here, and in the next scene, we see Shen, who is showing off her new work. Just then, she gets a call from Yihan. He says he confessed everything to Candy, but she rejected him again. Shen tells him to give her some time, her mood is bad right now, but everything will be fine soon. Then, Yihan goes to Shen's shop and picks her up, and tells her everything. Shen tells him not to worry one day, he'll definitely change Candy's mind, and everyone should just keep trying, keep winning her heart. Then the two of them start listening to old songs there. Then, going home, Shen tells Yihan a lot that he needs to do something to impress Candy, like making her breakfast tomorrow. Then, in the morning, we see that Yihan has made a complete mess of the kitchen and stayed up all night. When Shen comes, she sees him making the dish. As soon as she tastes it, Shen starts vomiting. When Yihan tastes it too, he realizes how badly he made the dish. Then he tells Shen to cook it, but Shen refuses, saying that Candy will like it more if Yihan makes it himself. Then he goes to the set. Yihan gives everyone breakfast, but Jishu is tense there, not knowing how it will taste. Then she says that he's her brother-in-law now, since he's her Lu Ming's sister's husband, so she eats it, and it turns out to be very good. Then Candy arrives and also loves the dish. Then the next day, Shen wakes up from sleep, and a reminder appears on her phone that today is her birthday. Then she remembers that maybe nobody remembers it, and she goes to cook, but Yihan tells her that today is a special day, so there's no need to cook today. Shen thinks maybe he remembers her birthday. That's why he's doing this. But actually, it had been 10 years since Candy's friendship with him, so he was happy that the two of them were going out for dinner. Shen starts going back to her room, but Yihan tells her to make something for him. Shen tells him that today is a special day, so it would be best if they just went out to eat. Then, Shen is doing her work at the shop when Yihan calls her and tells her to come somewhere. Du is coming to pick her up. He says Yihan is going to a jewelry shop, and maybe today is some special day, so Yihan is going to give her a gift. Hearing this, Shen becomes very happy. Then, going into the shop, she picks out a necklace, and Yihan tells her that this is for Candy. Hearing this, Shen feels very bad she also liked a necklace. Then, Yihan takes that necklace too and gives it to Shen, saying that she helped him a lot in convincing Candy. Getting the necklace, Shen becomes very happy. Then Jishu is doing a shoot in the rain, but when she sees Lu Ming, she wants to redo the shoot, and she comes back all wet. Then Lu Ming goes and gives her his shirt and tells Jishu that it's their job. She doesn't need to do this. She shouldn't feel bad. Then Yihan, who is at the restaurant with Candid, gives her the necklace as a gift and tells her to wear it. Candid refuses and puts it on herself instead. Then she tells him that she already ate all the food with Shen. Yihan tells her that he made everything himself. But Candid says, "I've known you for 10 years. All these changes are only because of Shen." Then Yihan asks her how she can say that all of this is for her. Candid tells him, "Yes, I am like your mother, aren't I?" Hearing this, Yihan feels a bit strange. Then we also see Shen, who comes home and makes noodles for herself and sits alone on her birthday, thinking that maybe Yihan and Candid's dinner is going well, otherwise Yihan would surely have called her. Then Lin also calls and tells Lu Ming about Shen's birthday. Lu Ming didn't even know it was Shen's birthday today, so he quickly calls to wish her and asks about the celebration. But Shen lies to him, saying that Yihan has booked a nice restaurant for her. Then we see Candid, who tells Yihan that he has changed a lot since Shen came into his life. Yihan says, "Meaning I've become mature?" Candy says, "You couldn't change on your own, but Shen changed you." Yihan says, "That's not true at all," but then he remembers that he had seen that Shen's birthday was next week. Candy tells him that she had submitted her documents, and there was a mistake in them that was never fixed later. Then Yihan also remembers that Shen never celebrated her birthday even as a child. Then Candy tells him she has some urgent work and needs to go, and she smiles and leaves. Then we see Shen, who gets a message from an unknown number saying there's a surprise for her. Open the door. Shen opens the door and sees an address written there, along with Yihan's name. Then Shen gets ready and starts heading there. She leaves, and Yihan arrives and goes home. Where he sees her, he thinks Shen is celebrating her birthday with someone. But he forgets to look at the letter that was there, which had his name written on it. Then, he remembers that there are so many fans of Shen, maybe someone is leaving a bad comment. Just then, he probably gets a message from someone, and he starts driving there. Shen reaches there first, and Yihan calls her, trying to stop her from going, but by then, someone has already knocked Shen unconscious. Then, Yihan arrives at a cold, closed place, and in front of the door is that same necklace Yihan had gifted her. Shen had been locked inside a room, and Yihan somehow breaks the door open and gets her out. Then Yihan is carrying her in the car, consoling her. After a while, Shen enters the room and finds that Yihan has planned her birthday and even brought a cake. She becomes very happy. She applies medicine to his wounds and refuses to let him go to the set, but Yihan insists he is fine. That night, Yihan thinks about how everyone fears losing someone. When Shen was in danger, he forgot everything else. The next morning, Shen helps Yihan get dressed. She gets a call and opens the door to people from her shop. They come inside and start checking and moving his expensive things around. When they ask about Yihan, Shen says he is out and may be late. They tell her to cook something while they wait, making her angry. In a flashback, Shen is shown taking Du's help to keep Yihan away from home. Ching Ching then suggests checking Yihan's room, and everyone follows. They are secretly looking for evidence because Gao Long paid Ching Ching a huge amount to prove Yihan and Shen's relationship is fake. Ching Ching records everything. They find only Yihan's clothes, but Ching Ching opens a drawer and discovers the dating contract. Before she can do anything, Shen arrives, asks why they are there, and orders everyone out. At lunch, Shen has only prepared noodles. Everyone complains that such a famous celebrity's house has nothing good to eat. Just then, Yihan arrives with plenty of delicious food. Everyone happily eats his food and ignores Shen's noodles. Shen asks about her food, and Yihan says they'll eat that too. Yihan suddenly treats Shen very sweetly and even feeds her, leaving her shocked. They then play a game, but Shen keeps defeating him. Yihan secretly texts Louis and asks him to let Shen win, so she continues winning. Meanwhile, Gao Long is at the hospital. The doctor tells him that his sister may not have much time left and asks him to prepare himself. After the doctor leaves, Gao Long promises his sister that he will take revenge on whoever caused this. Later, Shen takes out the trash. When she returns and opens the door, someone secretly photographs her entering. Meanwhile, Jishu sees Luming with another girl and follows them to her room. Luming is helping the girl, but Jishu becomes jealous and claims she is his girlfriend. The girl leaves after hearing this. Luming questions Jishu's behavior and asks when they became a couple. Jishu says that because they spent one night together, she considers herself his girlfriend, emotionally pressuring him until he has nothing to say. Luming calls Shen and explains everything. She agrees to speak with Jishu. Later, at the set, everyone is gossiping about Luming and Jishu, making Luming uncomfortable. Jishu follows him and says she loves him and wants him to be her boyfriend. Eventually, Luming agrees. Jishu's manager overhears them. Jishu then approaches Yihan and worries that her new boyfriend may dislike their upcoming kissing scene. She says she has been in love many times, but this love feels especially sweet. Yihan says he does not like candy. Jishu asks if he has never felt this way about Shen, making him think. Yihan calls Du and asks him to bring candy. Shen arrives at the set, and Luming tells her he now has a girlfriend. She wonders how Jishu started liking him so quickly. When Lin arrives and talks to Shen, Yihan becomes jealous. Soon, Yihan and Jishu begin their kissing scene, while Shen and Luming watch. However, the scene keeps failing, despite many attempts. So Lin clears the set. Outside, Shen and Luming pretend the kiss means nothing. but both are clearly jealous. Everyone later gathers again. Jisoo goes to Luming, while Yihan goes to Shen. They decide to have dinner together and invite Lin. During dinner, they discuss food and cooking. Lin says he also cooks and gives Shen a birthday gift. Yihan takes it first and says it belongs to Shen. She explains that it is an exclusive drawing by a famous artist and thanks Lin. Lin gives Yihan a meaningful look. Meanwhile, someone secretly enters Yihan's house and steals his dating contract. Later, Shen and Jisoo, now drunk, sit together and share their feelings. The next day, Shen arrives at her shop on her scooter. Yihan arrives in his car and asks her to get in. He takes her to an amusement park and explains that he wants to train her to handle public attention. He removes his cap and mask, causing people to follow them around and take pictures. Ching studies the dating contract she stole from Yihan's room. Seeing photos of Yihan and Shen at the amusement park makes her jealous. Gao Long calls asking whether she found anything, but she hides the truth about the contract and ends the call. Jisoo happily looks at the photos and decides she wants a public date too. She calls her manager and says she wants to make her relationship public. The next morning, Jisoo meets Luming wearing matching boyfriend and girlfriend t-shirts, happily showing off their new relationship. Meanwhile, Yihan is filming a scene where he carries a heavy bag upstairs. Lin repeatedly makes him redo it for 6 hours. When Lin asks for another take, Yihan loses his temper, throws down the brick-filled bag, and refuses to continue. Lin tells him to respect the crew because they have also worked all day. Yihan argues back, and Lin calls him unprofessional. Yihan angrily throws his shooting jacket onto a rod, tearing it, then leaves in his car despite Do trying to stop him. Do tells Candy that it is the only jacket available, and the damaged one will ruin continuity. Candy apologizes to Lin and offers to pay for the damage. Lin says actors sometimes fail to understand these things and ends the call. Frustrated, Yihan ignores Candy's call and texts that he is fine and will call tomorrow. Yihan then picks up Shen from her shop. She is surprised to see him. While watching her work, he compliments her, but she wonders if Lin told him something. Yihan says he knows nothing. Shen says she has become used to dealing with her manager, customers, and even Yihan at home. Yihan gets annoyed and says she never complains to any of them. Shen tells him that if he is an adult, he should not react so childishly. Yihan realizes his mistake and asks her to leave with him. She says her work is unfinished, but he offers to pay her. Hearing pay, she agrees. They drink together by the roadside. Yihan talks about his career, explaining that when he was unknown, he could not speak up. And now that he is famous, he still has no freedom because everyone tells him what to do. He mentions the damaged jacket, so Shen immediately offers to fix it. She takes out her toolbox and begins repairing it. She says she will design it around the green color loved by Shen Bing, Yihan's character. Yihan is surprised that she knows so much about his character and asks if Lin told her. Shen explains that Lin used to discuss his ideas with her when they were children. Jealous again, Yihan initially refuses to let her continue, but Shen convinces him. Yihan says he is probably not a good actor, but Shen disagrees and says he is very good. When Yihan asks whether she has actually watched his drama, Shen says yes and describes his character in detail. Realizing she watched the episodes and knows his role so well, Yihan becomes extremely happy and suddenly kisses her. The moment becomes deeply romantic. Yihan arrives at the hotel where Ching asked him to meet. Ching is shocked to see him and closes the door without locking it. She asks him to become her boyfriend, claiming she knows he can never truly love Shen. She tries to seduce him and offers to return the dating contract in exchange. She offers him a drink, but Yihan says she is beautiful and none of this is necessary. As Ching gets closer to him, Shen texts Yihan that a customer is coming and she will sleep in that room. Yihan agrees. Ching continues getting close, but Yihan grabs her hand and shows her CCTV footage from his house. He warns that if he gives the footage to police, she can be arrested for stealing and for entering his apartment without permission, which carries additional charges. Just then, Shen arrives. Ching lies that Yihan called her there and tried to do something wrong. She runs away before Yihan can stop her, leaving Shen confused. At home, Shen angrily asks why Yihan never told her about the CCTV. Yihan apologizes. Shen asks what they will do now because Ching has the contract. Yihan suggests they get married, but Shen says they cannot. In the living room, Shen constantly checks her phone, waiting to see whether news about their contract has been exposed. 2 days have passed, but nothing has happened. Yihan says that's good. But Shen worries because she doesn't know when the situation will end. The next day at Shen's shop, Jishu shows her expensive dresses. Shen says they cannot afford them and can only look. Jishu finds her seriousness strange. Meanwhile, Yihan sits with a paper and writes down everything about himself and Shen, trying to figure out what to do. He starts listing Candy's likes and dislikes. Exhausted, he admits that Candy is the only woman he has ever loved and calls her for dinner. But he overhears Shen talking to Lin on the phone. He becomes jealous, says goodbye to Candy, and ends the call. He listens outside Shen's room and hears that she and Lin are planning to meet at a restaurant. Yihan goes to that restaurant too. Candy arrives, and Yihan tells her everything about Ching. She asks why he didn't tell her earlier. He says he wanted to solve it himself. When Candy asks what he plans to do, Yihan says he wants to marry Shen, but she refuses. Candy asks if he has started liking Shen. Yihan denies it, although he secretly feels happy. Candy tells him that if he truly wants to say I love you to another woman, he should follow his real feelings and stop lying to himself. Meanwhile, Ching gives the dating contract to Gao Long and receives money from him, but it becomes clear that she has another plan. Shen returns home and finds the lights off. Yihan suddenly turns them on. The house is beautifully decorated for a proposal. He tells Shen that she helped him change, never treated him like a child, and made him a different person. He then confesses his love. Shen asks if he really means it. Yihan loudly declares, I love you, then repeats that he loves her. He kisses her, and they share a sweet, romantic moment. Meanwhile, Candy scolds Ching and asks her to update someone about the news. The next morning, Shen wakes up screaming. Yihan kisses her to quiet her and tells her, this house is mine, and you are mine too. He tells her to get ready. Shen comes out wearing a normal dress, but Yihan insists they must wear matching white clothes. She refuses, but he keeps insisting until she agrees. They drive together to the marriage registration office. People recognize Yihan and take photos with him, making Shen laugh. They take a couple photo together and officially register their marriage. Inside the elevator, Shen looks at the marriage certificate and says she cannot believe Yihan is now her husband. Yihan puts a ring on her finger, making her extremely happy. After playful teasing, the elevator opens and Candy is standing there. Candy shows them that news of Yihan's marriage has already gone viral. Yihan says he did not marry Shen because he feared Ching. He married her because he genuinely likes her now and wants to stay with her. Candy warns that if Ching reveals the contract and claims their marriage is fake, they could still face trouble. Yihan realizes he may have acted too quickly. Candy leaves. Later, Shen and Yihan try learning more about each other. Shen reveals she has had 10 exes, surprising Yihan, but he says the past does not matter because he is the one with her now. Yihan shows her his financial documents and reveals how rich he is. Shen jokingly asks him to return the house he took from her. He laughs and reminds her that she is now his wife. Shen says she needs time before accepting that. Yihan asks if she is his fan. Shen denies it. He brings out her old box of his photo albums. Shen admits she kept them since school, when she liked him, but says she no longer feels that way. Yihan refuses to believe her and starts calling her honey, leaving her speechless. Meanwhile, Luming is unhappy at the party because he is thinking about Shen. Jishu tells him to call her. He says that yesterday, Shen was his sister, but today, she is someone else's wife. Jishu reminds him that family still matters and convinces him to call. Shen is busy calculating something and cuts the call. As Luming starts leaving, Jishu's best friend arrives and flirts with him. She tells him Jishu has had many boyfriends, but Luming is the best. Then mentions her upcoming birthday and hints that he should buy her an expensive gift. Luming feels uncomfortable before she leaves her number. Back at home, Shen is still working. Yihan tells her to finish tomorrow, but she reminds him that he has to deal with the house. He says Candy may have already handled it because she has always managed his affairs. Shen reminds him that he was with Candy for 10 years and loved her. Yihan tells her that he now wants to spend his entire life with Shen, making her very happy. Meanwhile, Luming angrily confronts Jishu and demands that she make everyone leave. He tells her what her best friend was doing. Jishu explains that Although the woman is her best friend, she constantly changes her birthday dates just to receive gifts. Jisoo still valued the friendship. Hearing how innocent Jisoo is, Looming's feelings for her grow stronger. Then, a notification arrives. Everyone is gathered at Yihan's house, discussing the rumors about his marriage. Candy warns that Yihan and his movie could be dropped because of the scandal, and asks whether he should publicly apologize and claim the relationship was fake. Yihan refuses, and says he will accept everything publicly. Jisoo's manager suddenly calls and tells her that her best friend posted online claiming Jisoo has many boyfriends. Furious, Jisoo leaves, and Looming follows her. Outside, Shen asks Candy why Yihan doesn't simply say their relationship was fake. Candy explains that Yihan is doing all of this for Shen because he doesn't want her to get into trouble. Shen feels guilty because Yihan is willing to sacrifice everything for her. When she returns home, Yihan tells her that he no longer has a house, so they will live together in Shen's old house. Shen becomes emotional and cannot respond. She simply tells him, "Let's sleep for now." The next morning, Shen is getting ready to leave for the shop, but Yihan stops her and asks her to have breakfast first. Shen, a bit scared, goes to eat, but she doesn't enjoy the food much. Then they hear some sounds outside the house. Yihan and Shen think someone is trying to get into their house, and going outside, they see Jisoo and Looming there. Jisoo had come to live in Yihan's neighborhood. Shen asks her if she doesn't have to go for a shoot. Jisoo tells her she did go to the set today, but the director Lin said that if Yihan isn't part of this movie, she won't come either. But going there, she remembered a flashback where Lin was arguing with Yihan's producer, saying Yihan is one of a kind and half the shoot is already done with him. They can't remove him now. Whatever he's done in his personal life, whoever he's fallen in love with, that's his private life. But this movie is his dream. If Yihan isn't part of it, she won't work either. Back in the present, hearing all of this, Yihan is shocked that Lin took his side. Then, Jisoo says she's bought a flat here because she really liked the area, and now she'll live here with a family. Then Shen comes home and starts thinking, telling Yihan, "Jisoo is so rich, I should marry her instead." Yihan tells her, "Are you willing to marry your own brother's wife for money?" Shen goes quiet, then says, "We should invite Lin too, since he took your side." Yihan agrees with her. At home, Yihan is scrolling through his phone, where all the comments are full of apologies, but people are giving Shen a lot of hate. Shen calls Lin and apologizes, but Lin lies and says he's already home. Shen tells him he should still come over for dinner. Lin says okay, but tells her not to keep any drinks next time and tells her to always stay happy. Then, Shen, Yihan, Jisoo, and Looming spend a really good time together. Everyone plans to teach Ching Ching a lesson. Jisoo calls Ching Ching and tells her to come to the shop, saying that Shen has been fired and she can take her place now. Hearing this, Ching Ching is thrilled. Yihan keeps getting calls from Candy, and Shen tells him he should take her call and go see her. Maybe she has some urgent work, but Yihan doesn't want to leave. Still, he ends up having to go. Then Yihan kisses Shen in front of everyone, and everyone covers their faces. Shen blushes a lot too. Then, Ching Ching arrives and is shocked to see that man there. A big argument breaks out between Shen and Ching Ching, while the rest of the staff record everything. Shen shows her the evidence she got from that man, proving that Ching Ching told him to write bad things about the shop. He admits to all of this. Shen tells Ching Ching that she now has evidence, and Ching Ching could end up in jail. Angrily, Ching Ching leaves. Then we see Candy and Yihan sitting at Yihan's house discussing how to handle the whole situation, but Yihan isn't paying attention at all. He's busy on his phone. Candy takes the phone from him to look and finds CCTV recordings of Shen and Yihan. Seeing all of this gives Candy an idea. The next day, everyone starts liking Yihan and Shen and forgives Yihan too. Now people start seeing Yihan and Shen as an ideal couple. The next morning, Shen is about to go to the shop when she gets a call from her manager. Then we see Shen arriving at the shop and asking her manager what's wrong, what's the bad news. Her manager tells her that a lot of customers are coming in, but Ching Ching doesn't want to come to work anymore. They're getting a lot of orders and bookings, both online and offline. Shen tells them not to worry about all this, whether online or offline. She can teach and bring in customers herself. Everyone likes this idea, and all the staff start distributing pamphlets on the road. Just then, a man comes and gives Shen flowers, saying Yihan sent them, but they were very expensive. Shen says yes at first, then tries to reduce the cost, but the man doesn't budge. so Shen calls Yihan and gets angry at him. Yihan tells her, "I sent you a gift. Why aren't you happy?" and cuts the call. Gigi tells her the flowers are actually very nice, and she shouldn't have fought with him like that. Then, Shen gets an idea and tells everyone to buy the flowers from her, convincing everyone somehow. Shen finishes work and leaves the shop after selling all the flowers. Yihan's money has also been recovered, making her happy. She meets Yihan and returns his money. Yihan apologizes, but Shen gets angry, saying he made her feel terrible by giving her money and has become selfish. At home, Yihan promises to save money and do whatever Shen says. He asks what happened to the flowers. Shen says she sold them all because although she liked them, they were unnecessary expenses. She says she wants to support him. The next morning, Shen stands by the window when Yihan suggests they go on their honeymoon because his shooting has finished. Shen reminds him that he said he would keep working. Then she discovers his phone unlocks with his birthday. She becomes happy, but Yihan cannot unlock her phone using her birthday and gets upset. Shen calms him with a kiss, leading to another romantic moment. At the shop, Shen receives news about an international nail art competition. Winning could earn her a world tour. She excitedly tells Gigi, but Gigi warns that it requires advanced skills and asks if she really wants this career. Shen says she has started loving the work and wants to participate. Yihan, who is helping at the shop, arrives and Shen tells him to. That night, Yihan invites Shen to dinner with his friends. She refuses, but he convinces her to come and says she can leave with Jishu if uncomfortable. At dinner, Shen is uninterested. One friend asks for water, and soon everyone starts ordering her around for water. Yihan becomes uncomfortable. Someone assumes Shen owns a nail art business because his girlfriend also invests in such businesses. But Shen honestly says she only works there. Everyone's attitude changes. Yihan becomes angry and walks away. After dinner, Shen takes drunk Jishu home. Jishu tells her not to fight with Yihan. Shen says she wanted to get drunk too, but couldn't because of her. At home, Shen pretends to be drunk, but Yihan already heard her conversation with Jishu. They argue. Shen says he should be ashamed to call her his wife. Yihan asks why she cares so much about other people's opinions. Shen tries to leave, but Yihan stops her. She eventually leaves anyway. Yihan goes to a hotel near the movie set and meets Lin. Lin jokes that his wife kicked him out, but Yihan denies it. They get drunk together, with Lin teasing him, while Yihan insists he left by himself. Their drunken interaction becomes funny. Meanwhile, Gao Long's sister becomes worse and is moved to the ICU, leaving him devastated. Shen is invited to a party by Louis, but refuses. After closing the shop, she walks home and feels someone following her. Meanwhile, her boss calls Yihan and tells him Shen is heading home safely. Yihan goes to Ching Ching's door. She claims she is an actress who will soon become a lead star, but Yihan has no interest and tells her to leave. When she tries to fall onto him, he pushes her away, falls down himself, and warns her never to come near him again. Shen visits a bookstore and notices a poster for an art exhibition she wants to attend. The shopkeeper says, "It is tomorrow," and tickets are likely sold out, but she can try finding one from someone else. He also gives her the poster. Meanwhile, Yihan angrily calls Candid, but she doesn't answer. He calls Lin, who is talking about someone named Ching Chuan. Yihan hangs up without listening. Yihan asks his assistant where Shen is, and learns she visited the bookstore. Shen is actually researching Ching Chuan. Yihan remembers Lin mentioning the same name and searches for it. Both Yihan and Lin try to get exhibition tickets, but neither succeeds at first. Lin eventually pays extra and gets one. Shen also tries to buy a ticket, but refuses when the seller demands too much money. Yihan waits in his car and sees Lin coming for the ticket. Remembering Lin's previous comments about wanting Shen, if she divorced him, Yihan decides to interfere. He asks some boys for help and creates a fake story that another man is his girlfriend's husband. The situation backfires, and the boys beat Yihan up. Lin gets the ticket, but Yihan suddenly grabs it and runs away. Lin chases him, but Yihan reaches home first and proudly gives the ticket to Shen. She hugs and kisses him, making Yihan extremely happy. Then, Yihan imagines Shin happily talking to Lin because Lin originally arranged the ticket. He becomes jealous, but the scene is revealed to be only his imagination, which completely disappears. The next day, Shen and Lin attend the exhibition together and discuss art. Shen says creative careers are often not respected and talks about her nail artwork. Lin comforts her. Suddenly, Shen sees someone and runs off, leaving her phone and bag behind. Candy calls Shen's phone, and Lin answers. Candy tells him that photos of Yihan misbehaving with an actress have gone viral. Candy confronts Ching Ching and demands that she delete the pictures. Candy reveals she already has the complete video and knows everyone involved in framing Yihan. She threatens to release everything if Ching Ching does not stop. Shen and Yihan return home, still in a cold war. Later, Yihan apologizes and asks to fix things. Shen agrees, and they kiss. The next day, Louis tells Shen that Ching Ching has posted online denying anything happened with Yihan and claiming she has a boyfriend. Shen barely reacts. Suddenly, 4 men arrive and carry Shen away. She screams while her boss tries to stop them, but Louis secretly signals him not to. Inside the car, Shen is shocked when Yihan appears and says she wanted an adventure, didn't she? Louis had told him everything. Yihan takes Shen to a beautiful countryside location she used to visit with her mother. Shen is deeply moved. Yihan says he read her mother's letters and asks her to forgive her. Shen refuses. So Yihan suggests burning the letters. Before he can, Shen stops him and bravely opens one. A flashback shows Shen's happy childhood memories with her mother. Back in the present, she reads the letter and discovers a card containing money her mother saved for her birthday. Shen becomes emotional and finally understands how deeply her mother loved her. Meanwhile, Gaolong's sister is close to death. Gaolong tries to leave, but security stops him. He calls Candy and begs her to let Yihan meet his sister once before she dies. Candy says Yihan is out of the city. Gaolong ends the call, and Candy asks Du to find his number details. Yihan and Shen return to the city. He tells her not to reveal where they went. Shen plans dinner and asks what he wants to eat. Yihan sadly says she is his wife, but doesn't even know his favorite food. At the shop, Shen thinks about it and calls Du. She asks about Yihan's favorite dishes. Du cannot explain much, but gives her the address of a restaurant Yihan often visited with Candy. Shen worries about the cost, but Du assures her it will be fine. Yihan picks Shen up, and she gives him the same restaurant address. He realizes Du told her, but Shen claims she guessed it herself. At the restaurant, Shen is shocked by the expensive menu because she has to pay. Yihan quietly helps by choosing cheaper dishes and ordering water instead of drinks. Meanwhile, Candy and Lin are also having dinner. Candy's ex-husband appears and tries to talk to her, but she refuses. She goes to the washroom, and he follows, apologizing and asking to get back together. Candy tries to avoid him, but Lin suddenly punches her ex-husband and takes Candy's hand. He tells him that he is Candy's boyfriend now and warns him to stay away from her. In the next scene, a hotel appears. A lady is working there and is scolding a girl very harshly. That girl is none other than Ching Ching, whose condition has now gotten very bad. Then, Gaolong also arrives and gives her some money, and the scene cuts here. In the morning, the scene opens with Candy's eyes, and Lin is right in front of her. Candy is not dressed. The two just stare at each other. Without much reaction from either side, Candy goes to take a shower in the bathroom. Lin also starts to leave, telling her that if her ex bothers her again, she should let him know. Inside the bathroom, Candy starts thinking about how they ended up in this situation. In a flashback, we see that while they were drinking, Candy told Lin how lonely she feels and that no one is there for her, and she gets emotional. Lin then hugs her. Next scene, Shen, who is working on a new design for her competition. Her shop manager also starts talking to her, wishes her best of luck for the competition, and looks at her new ideas and gives feedback. Then, Shen remembers her wedding shoot and wants to base one of her designs on that theme. Now, it is the new round voting time. Her boss tells her to ask Yihan to post about her competition on his social media, but Shen doesn't want Yihan's help. She doesn't want to involve him. She explains to her boss that if Yihan posts, everyone will just vote because of him, not for her design. Shen has a different idea in mind. She makes her design and posts it. That night, Shen tells Yihan about the competition post. Yihan says his social media is managed by his company. He can't just post things. Shen gets a little upset, goes to the bathroom, calls Jishu, and tells her everything, even showing her the post, which has received a lot of negative comments. Yihan also finds out about this and calls Du, asking him to report all the comments and shut down fake accounts. Next, Shen is sitting sadly in the shop while Louis checks her phone and sees a post by Yihan about Shen's competition. Because of his post, people start coming to the shop and everyone is very happy. Shen's mood also improves a lot. She calls Yihan, and the two plan dinner together. Meanwhile, we see Luming entering the room. Jishu's voice comes from inside and she is washing his clothes, but she has mixed all the white clothes with the colored ones. A very funny argument breaks out between Luming and Jishu. After that, we see Lin cooking at Shen's place. Because Shen's hand was cut, Lin helps her. He also makes a video and asks Shen to post it. Shen asks him if he is doing this to show it to someone. Lin says nothing, but he is thinking about telling everything about Kandi, and he tells Shen that he likes Kandi. Shen is overjoyed and says she will help, but Yihan doesn't want Shen to be involved in all of this. Lin says Yihan will help her. We then see Yihan in his car, very angry at Lin, saying he won't shoot with him anymore. Du also checks Lin's social media post and tells Yihan that he is at his house. Then a call comes for Yihan. Shen picks it up. Yihan asks angrily what Lin is doing there. Shen says he is just here to help her, but Yihan gets angry and cuts the call. Next, we see Ching Ching, very emotional and angry. Gao Long is also there. She tells him that her life has become complete hell. Her work, her body, everything is gone, and she has no money. She blames Gao Long for everything and says all of this happened because of him. Then in anger, Gao Long tells Ching Ching that Yihan killed his sister, and the scene cuts here. Next, we see Kandi Lin calls her. Lin smiles. Kandi tells him not to get between Yihan and Shen's relationship. Lin says, fine. From now on, he will give all updates to her. Then, Kandi calls Yihan. And even though she wanted to say bad things about Lin, she ends up saying good things about him. And she tells Yihan to cooperate with him. Yihan tells Shen that Lin has no chance with Kandi. Then, Lin calls Kandi and tells her he is planning to go to dinner with Shen tomorrow. And since he said he would give her all updates, Kandi tells him not to go with Shen. But Lin doesn't listen. So Kandi says she will come along too. Lin agrees and then texts Shen, saying Kandi has said yes to going on a date with him. On the other hand, we see Kandi, who has called Shen to her place and tells her to spend a little less time with Lin. Now, a call comes from Lin. Kandi doesn't want to pick it up, but Shen insists. Lin says if Kandi doesn't come right now, he will cancel all their contracts. Hearing this, Kandi has no choice but to go. After that, Shen texts Yihan saying she has won the argument. Kandi arrives at Lin's place. Kandi asks Lin why he is so stuck on Shen. Lin then says clearly, I want Shen, and he asks if she didn't hear the message. Kandi had no idea. So Lin plays the voice message for her, and Kandi has no answer. The scene cuts. Shen goes home and cooks. When Yihan arrives, Shen asks him to eat. Yihan can't say anything. He sits at the table and then starts pretending to vomit in the dustbin. Though nothing comes out, Shen brings the food to him and starts feeding him one dumpling after another. Yihan is completely full, but Shen angrily keeps feeding him more. Then, suddenly, she starts crying, and Yihan has no idea what is happening. When the two go to sleep, Yihan tries to talk to her, but she won't listen. He keeps trying to calm her down. Then, Shen tells him she has made a new design for the competition and shows him the nail art she made using Yihan's face. Yihan becomes very happy and praises her a lot. Then, Yihan asks her the reason for her anger. Shen says nothing at first, but finally tells him she saw him at the restaurant with Du. He apologizes, but Shen says it is her fault too, for changing his lifestyle so much. Everything becomes clear between them, but Yihan still asks, then why were you crying? Shen says she doesn't know, it just came suddenly. Next day on set, Yihan asks Du if someone suddenly starts crying, what could be the reason? Du asks if he talked to Shen. Yihan says yes. Then Du suddenly blurts out that sounds like pregnancy symptoms. Hearing this, Yihan is completely shocked. After that, we see Shen at the shop, talking with Louis. They each go to their tables, and Shen gets shocked when she finds that the new design she made with Yihan's face on it, the box is broken. Shen is very upset and starts picking everything up. Lou checks the CCTV footage and is shocked by what she sees. She comes to Shen and says she couldn't find anything in the footage and tells her to try making it again. Shen quickly goes to get her materials. Meanwhile, Loi goes back and watches the video again and sees that she and her boyfriend had come in the morning And when Loi went to change, her boyfriend had gone upstairs. Lu calls her boyfriend and confronts him. He says he thought she would get angry, but he didn't say that he broke the box. In the next scene, Yihan is searching about pregnancy. He starts to genuinely believe that Shen is pregnant. He tells Du to bring pregnancy-related things, but Du tells him to first take Shen to the doctor. Yihan says, what if she doesn't want to keep the baby right now, so he doesn't want to tell her? And he sends Du off. Next, we see Shen taking out the card her mom gave her and thinking she will use the money in it to buy materials. Yihan also arrives and starts talking to her strangely. Shen ignores all of it and goes to the bathroom to check how much balance is on the card. When she comes back to Yihan, he gives her the exact same necklace as the one she was looking for. Shen thinks Louis must have told Yihan about it, and she starts crying. Yihan has no idea what is happening and tells her not to cry, that she is not alone. But Shen isn't listening to that. She is just happy about the gift. Next day, Shen is designing again. Louis comes and offers her dinner without her boyfriend. Shen agrees. We also see Yihan cooking and bringing fruits to Shen, telling her not to stress. Shen tells him an invitation card for the competition is supposed to arrive, but it hasn't come yet. And if it doesn't, she won't be able to participate in the finale. Just then, Louis calls and invites her to dinner. Shen doesn't feel like it, but can't say no to Lu. Yihan insists on going with Shen, and the two go to dinner together. But Yihan gets busy on his phone and steps away to take a call. Then, Yihan tells the table that Shen is very stressed about her nail art competition. Louis' boyfriend then says something that shocks Yihan. He mentions that if Shen wins the competition, she will have to go abroad for 3 years to work at nail art salons and will not be able to return for 3 years. Yihan is completely stunned because he had no idea this was part of the deal. Then Shen comes back and says it was a spam call. Next, we see Shen and Yihan walking in the rain, talking. Yihan asks her between your career and me. Who would you choose? Shen gives no answer. Then she remembers she has to go meet Jishu. In the next scene, we see Shen on set, with Jishu watching the nail art final broadcast live, but since it is in English, she doesn't understand anything. Jishu tells her that Yihan had thought Shen was pregnant, and this news had spread everywhere. Also, the day Shen slipped in the bathroom, she fractured her hand. Then Looming arrives. The live host says that one design has impressed them greatly, but they cannot contact that artist. Looming translates everything for Shen. Then, Shen's design appears on the screen. Shen is completely shocked because she never received her invitation card. She goes to her old house to check, but there is no card there either. That night, Yihan finishes his shoot and comes back. Looming tells him everything. Yihan goes and finds Shen sitting sadly in front of the house. He sits beside her. Shen tells him she called everyone, and they all said the invitation had been delivered, so why didn't she get it? Yihan somehow comforts her and tells her to try again next year, and that he will always be by her side. The two then come home. Since Shen's hand is fractured, Yihan helps her fill the bathtub. Shen goes to the security room to check the CCTV footage of their apartment. Then Yihan calls her Shen, tells him she is in the CCTV room. There, Shen sees on the footage that Yihan had received the envelope. She is completely shocked. She cuts the call. Yihan is waiting for her at home, but Shen walks in without saying a word to him and locks the bathroom door. She becomes very emotional inside. Yihan comes to the door, talks to her, and says he wants to explain everything. Shen comes out and agrees to talk. Yihan tells her he didn't know the envelope was for her. He thought it was something else. Then he says that he thought she was pregnant and that she would be going abroad for 3 years to study, and he didn't know what he would do alone. Shen asks him who told him about the 3 years of study. She says he destroyed an important part of her life without even asking her, and she becomes very emotional and starts to leave. Yihan tries to stop Shen, but she says she needs time away from him. He has nothing more to say, as Shen cries uncontrollably. She leaves his house and returns to her old rented room, taking it back on rent. 2 days pass. At the shop, Shen pretends everything is normal, working and eating as usual. Lu notices her behavior. She receives a call from Yihan and tells him Shen has been completely normal for 2 days. She asks if everything is okay between them. Yihan lies that everything is fine and ends the call. Looming arrives, and Yihan imagines him beating him. Frightened, he calls Looming's name. Looming asks what happened, so Yihan tells him Shen has left the house and hasn't returned for 2 days. Looming quietly walks away. Meanwhile, Shen returns to her room with shopping. Later, Shen, Jishu, and Luming sit together. Shen says she lived there before, so the place feels comfortable and she can stay. Jishu tries convincing her to return home, but Shen refuses. She says the competition was crucial for her career. She worked extremely hard for it, and living with Yihan is no longer possible. Their lifestyles are too different, and both have sacrificed enough for the marriage. She doesn't want to return. After Jishu and Luming leave, Shen sits alone and writes a divorce application. The next morning, a group arrives at Shen's door with furniture, saying Yihan sent it. Shen calls him. Yihan says he sent everything because she has no bed, fridge, or other necessities. He tells her to return once her anger is gone. Shen says she has already made her decision. She wants a divorce. She doesn't feel worthy of him and will return everything with the divorce papers. Yihan is speechless and asks if she is divorcing him over one competition. Shen says it was her chance to prove herself, but Yihan stopped her. She says they can remain friends and keep the divorce private for now, then ends the call. Yihan rushes to her room, but the workers tell him Shen has already left. He goes to the shop and asks Lu about her, but she says Shen took the day off and nobody knows where she went. On set, Yihan is upset. Du arrives and gives him an envelope from Shen. After the shoot, Yihan opens it and finds the divorce papers. He breaks down, tears them apart, and throws them away. Later, Yihan drinks heavily at a nightclub and walks drunkenly down the road. His condition worsens. A girl approaches, and in his drunken state, he mistakes her for Shen and hugs her. Yihan wakes up in a hotel room. Confused, Ching Ching appears and shows him pictures of them from the previous night. Furious, Yihan smashes her phone, but Ching Ching says she already made copies and threatens to ruin his life. After she leaves, Yihan calls Candid and tells her everything. Du suddenly calls and says the photos have leaked and Gao Long is responsible. Candid tells Yihan to find Gao Long's address. Candid also starts receiving calls from everyone asking about the photos. She insists they are photoshopped, but the pictures of Yihan and Ching Ching quickly go viral. Shen knows nothing. At a bus stop, people stare at her, and a girl tells her that all boys are like this. Shen is confused. Candy calls and explains everything. Shen checks her phone and discovers the scandal. She immediately goes to Yihan's house, where everyone is waiting. They ask her to call Yihan because nobody can find him. She calls, but he doesn't answer. Du then says, Ching Ching has posted a video claiming she and Yihan had an affair. She says Yihan told her he liked Ching Ching, not Shen, but married Shen anyway. Meanwhile, Yihan sits alone. A lawyer arrives, and Yihan asks how to solve his financial problems. The lawyer promises to help. Yihan asks what will happen to Shen. The lawyer explains that as his wife, Shen could also be affected if his properties are sold. Yihan asks what happens if he divorces her, and the lawyer tells him to act quickly. Shen is later in Yihan's room, heartbroken. She looks at the drawing she made for him and finds his bank details and financial files. She gathers the files into another bag. When Yihan arrives, Shen goes downstairs. He tells her to leave. Confused, Shen asks why. Yihan says their divorce is already done and claims he no longer loves her. He says many good girls are around him and he wants a divorce. Shen explains that she only said those things in anger and truly loves him. Yihan pushes her outside and locks the door. Shen repeatedly calls for him, but he stays silent. He returns to his room, looks at her painting, and breaks down. Candid then tells Shen everything Yihan has said. She explains that Yihan may have to sell his land and houses and repay the brands. Shen says she will gather everything and give it back to him quickly. Shen returns to her rented room. Looking at the furniture, she complains about how much money Yihan wastes, then lies down on the sofa. Meanwhile, Candy opens Yihan's files in her car and checks them. She discovers the papers for Shen's mother's old house and examines everything carefully. Yihan calls Shen and tells her to come to the balcony. He says he has enough money and she doesn't need to give him anything. The divorce is finished. Shen realizes he did this intentionally, because if they stayed married, she would also have been responsible for his debts. Yihan denies it and accuses her of only loving money. Shen says, "No, I love you." Yihan is deeply hurt but says nothing. He places the file containing Shen's house papers and the divorce papers on the table and walks away. Shen runs after him, desperately trying to stop him. Both of them cry uncontrollably as the emotional scene comes to an end. Then we see, after the shoot, Yihan reaching home. Du tells him he also has to leave the house by tomorrow, because it will have to be sold. Yihan may need to move to a hotel. Yihan says he will leave tomorrow and starts packing. He tells everyone to go. After everyone leaves, Yihan starts packing his clothes. Just then, Shen arrives and sees the clothes, and many memories come flooding back. Yihan becomes very sad. He goes to the bathroom and cries a lot. He calls Du and says he needs to stay in this house. Du should pack everything and go to the hotel today. Yihan will stay here. In the next scene, Candy has used all her connections to find that all this happened due to Louis' boyfriend, and now he is nowhere to be found and has run away. She finds the location of Louis' boyfriend. He is about to come to a bar. Shen and Candy are both there searching for him. They split up to look for him inside. Lin is also there, and when he sees Candy, he asks her to dance. But Candy tells him to help find the guy. Then at one point, Shen spots him, and he immediately starts running. Shen and Candy both chase him. Lin also joins. At one point, Candy's ankle gets hurt, so Lin makes her sit and asks what is going on. Candy tells him everything. Lin says, "What is she doing?" and starts asking more. Lin tells her the movie has closed, so he is feeling very bad about it and came here to refresh himself. On the other side, Shen is still chasing the boy, and he finally gets tired and sits down. Shen confronts him and starts asking for the truth. He says nothing at first. Then Shen raises her hand at him, and just as he is about to hit Shen back, Yihan appears and grabs him. Then the boy tells everything he works for Gao Long, who paid him to do all of this. He was also the one who destroyed Shen's nail design and lied to Yihan about the 3 years. Shen tells everything to Candy on a call, and she had recorded everything the boy confessed. Yihan apologizes to Shen. Shen also accepts his apology, but Shen had already solved all the problems, and now she knows what she has to do tomorrow. Then, on Shen's forehead, Yihan gives her a kiss and walks away. Shen just watches him go. Next day, Yihan goes live on social media and tells everyone everything that happened to him. Then, Yihan says he is now leaving the entertainment industry. He gets very emotional and is about to go somewhere, leaving everything behind. Shen is also crying very hard and runs everywhere looking for Yihan, but she cannot find him anywhere. After that, we see Shen running and arriving in front of Yihan's house. And Candy is also there. Shen cries and tells them he already took the divorce and didn't even come to meet her. How could he just leave like this? Candy hugs her, but Shen is crying so hard and is in so much pain. Then we see Yihan watching everything from a distance. Seeing Shen like this, he also cries. He becomes very emotional. Shen tells him she would have taken care of him so well, and she will always wait for him, for however long it takes, until he comes back to her. After this, we see that 2 years have passed. We see Shen at the shop, watching a news channel, where they are showing that today, in Yihan's case, Gao Long has been punished. It planned against so many people, and Ching Ching was also involved with him. All allegations against Yihan are now cleared. Hearing this, Louis and Shen are very happy and emotional. We then see Shen, who has become very successful by now. She now has her own nail art company, and has everything she ever wanted. She is also now a judge at nail art competitions herself. Then Shen and Candy discuss Gao Long's case. Candy reveals that Gao Long had filed a murder case against Yihan. His orphaned sister, who had heart disease, was a huge Yihan fan. Gao Long got her a concert ticket, but seeing Yihan excited her so much that she suffered a heart attack. Gao Long had tried to contact Yihan several times, but his team never found out. On the day his sister died, Gao Long called Candy, but Yihan wasn't there. That's how his grief turned into anger. Shen feels sorry for him. Candy invites Shen to the awards ceremony. At the awards ceremony, everyone waits for Yihan, and his award is announced. Since he isn't there, someone goes on stage to accept it for him. Then Shen takes the award. Just as she begins her speech, she sees Yihan and wonders if she's imagining him. Shen continues speaking about how Yihan built his career without a film background and deserved the award. She also defends him and talks about everything he endured. Her speech moves the entire hall, and everyone gives her a standing ovation. After the ceremony, Lin offers to take Shen home, but she asks to be left alone. She starts recording another video and shows the teddy bear Yihan took with him when he left. Seeing it, she calls Yihan's name and starts crying. Suddenly, Yihan appears. They see each other, overcome with emotion and happiness. Shen puts a ring on Yihan's hand, and the two finally get their happy ending. And with that, the drama comes to an end.